Alright everyone, the Twitter files in focus. Yes, the nothing burger about the Trump organization, hint hint, there's a reason why it's being astroturfed as a major story. Aside, Ted Cruz's daughter trying to kill herself aside, it's sad. And by the way, the children of politicians really should be off limits for criticism. I know it's an opportunity to make like a sleazy jab at Ted Cruz himself, but because he hasn't started a war like George W. mode or said bomb Iran like John McCain, I don't have enough ire towards him to, ridicule his 14-year-old daughter. Just to be clear, I do have some standards with regards to humor, so we'll let it skate for now. We've got racist sharks to cover. We've got the Herschel Walker v. Warnock race. Of course, Warnock won in the end, although it was very, very close. Considering he was supposedly running against a monosyllabic moron that doesn't say great things about Raphael Warnock, but they're taking a victory lap anyway. We'll see what happens. I will be analyzing that in the live stream later. But the super scandal has thickened with regards to the massive censorship scandal, the subsequent cover-up of a cover-up with regards to Hunter Biden's laptop, Twitter's actions. Facebook's certainly involved. Zuckerberg admitted to it months ago, just to be clear. We now know why the FBI involvement with regards to the Twitter file thing was suppressed. Jim Baker, we'll get into who he is and why that's important. Working as a Twitter lawyer, was vetting these documents unbeknownst apparently even to Elon Musk himself. So he was given enough latitude that down in the shadows, in the shadowy basement, going through the files, he was able to remove the juiciest details by which you would prove that the U.S. government directly, in the bureaucratic sense, showed political favor towards the Biden campaign. This is known anyway, but we're going to get a revelation specifically about the involvement of one part of big tech from the next batch of files, I assume. Now they got to go back through all of those papers and unredact that material. Although, keep in mind, some of it may involve agents' names and things like that. Those are likely to still end up redacted in the end by Twitter, and I'll tell you why. What they don't want is to poke the bear and reveal the names of secret agents that are embedded at Twitter to look into potentially even criminal malfeasance on the site, terroristic threats, illicit material. That's perfectly fine. If they're doing something that's clearly non-political and it's actually like the job they're supposed to be doing, I don't think anyone has a problem with that. Hell, even Julian Assange, when he was doing various State Department leaks, he was willing to work with them explicitly and directly with the Clinton State Department in order to protect agents' lives. Of course, he's still rotting in a jail cell, although, apparently, I haven't fact-checked this yet, the tale is that Assange has his personal Twitter account back. Not that he can use it. I suppose maybe he can give the password to his wife and she can tweet in his name or something like that. We'll see what happens. You do have Twitter amnesty continuing. As predicted, it is a slow process. You've got a skeleton crew currently running the site. Now, Jim Baker, what about that? Let's see. Was he the one that worked directly with Sussman? Was he the one that was directly involved with the FISA warrant behind closed doors to monitor Carter Page? Was he the one that was directly involved with the Clinton-sourced Steele dossier and Russiagate? Is he a long-time insider within the U.S. government, specifically former FBI, again involved with the entire process of trying to destroy the Trump campaign? Oh, you mean that this former FBI agent with deep links to the Uniparty deep state was the one vetting the Twitter files documents before they were released to the public in some form? No. Really? I wonder why all FBI involvement was redacted from the documents. See, this is one hand washing the other. You've got an individual who still has the alliance with all the former FBI and stuff. Obviously is still going to think fondly of his old bureau, which is all it is. It's a bureaucratic network. It's not strictly law enforcement at all, just to be clear about what the FBI represents. Should never have been renewed. And of course, the Tommy gun and Prohibition era are over. There's no longer any legit reason for the FBI to even exist. Somehow nobody wants to raise this query in Congress. Other than MTG and a few other brave individuals who apparently want the entire bureaucratic state gunning for them. This is how bureaucracy works. You run afoul of them and all of a sudden you get audited. You get investigated because show me the man and I'll show you the crime. Literally all members of Congress at some point have obviously conducted themselves in a felonious manner. You just use differential enforcement to make sure that you're only taking out the people that don't want to expand the FBI's budget year over year. Yay! We see this with multiple bureaus. The legacy media right now is just distracting people with bread and circus reports on Ted Cruz's daughter and shit like that, when we have literally an admission by Twitter, now run by Musk. And Baker's out. He's exited the company. I don't know whether Elon Musk fired him, recommended that he resign, or he just left on his own accord when this was first revealed. And his answers to Musk, according to Musk himself, were not quite up to par. His answers didn't satisfy me fully, so he's gone. You're telling me that someone Clinton adjacent was working in Twitter in the legal department since and was the one vetting the Twitter files? Again, if it was a nothing burger, and trust me, it's not already, it's already a 10 out of 10 on the scandal scale. It involves the direct undermining of the First Amendment. It involves the absolute coordination between political powers, the legacy media, and elements of big tech billionairedom. It's already a huge scandal. Anyone claiming it's boring, it's nothing we haven't seen before, it's a nothing burger, is lying through their teeth. They're being disingenuous and they're covering their own asses. Like MSNBC the other day saying, well, they expected it to be a bombshell, but in the end it turned out to be a dud. Yeah, MSNBC was explicitly involved with the proceedings in Twitter with regards to censorship and with regards to pretending that the Hunter Biden case was Russian disinfo. You did that willfully. No wonder you don't want people to read reports on it and want to convince them through a lie by structure mainly that nobody gives a damn about the story. Title, subtitle, first paragraph, hey, it's boring, don't look into it further. Then they admit to the juicier details halfway down the article when 1% of the reader base is actually still reading the article. Ironically, they keep tweeting these things out on Twitter. Jim Baker has been involved with the government and the deep state now for decades, and somehow he ended up being a Twitter lawyer. I have a feeling that he was handpicked there for a reason by the former Twitter governance. I have a feeling that they let him be one of the top dog lawyers for the firm for a reason. For a political reason, because he's a unipartyist. It's not about party loyalty specifically like Dem and Republican. It's about the uniparty system. GOP establishment Dems, the liberals, getting together and trying to control the flow of information in the name of stopping disinfo, stopping foreign state propaganda, tamping down on cyberbullying and terroristic rhetoric. It's not really about these things. It's about them washing one hand with the other hand. The legacy media is clearly partnered directly with the uniparty. They have specific loyalty to them. They have become nothing more than state propaganda apparatuses that function in only the most loosely privatized of manners. Hell, now you've got in the defense bill, thanks to McConnell, by the way, again, totally not evidence of a uniparty system existing. Now you've got a provision for giving effectively handouts to legacy media affiliates, like the local and regional affiliates, to try to prop them up because they're being killed by social media. Yeah, good riddance. I hope that they still fall through, and hopefully the House strangulates that specific aspect of the budget and holds the Senate hostage so that it doesn't pass and forces it to be parsed out. If McCarthy's in the leadership role, chances are that won't actually happen. He shouldn't even bring it forth for a House vote. Just let it die and tell him to craft a new one if they're going to start at the Senate level. Don't let him use reconciliation either. Just say, no, it's not going to pass. We held a vote, fuck you. It's what should be done. It's probably not what will be done. I find this very, very interesting, though. There are still people pretending that there are no shenanigans going on here at all. No. The Steele dossier lawyer meeting with Sussman and signing off on FISA warrants is totally the unbiased party that you want to look through a document that implicates the FBI as coercing Twitter into censoring a legit news story under its hacked materials policy. But remember, as Jeff Tiedrich says, it's just about Hunter's dick pics. You know, he's made about a dozen tweets on that subject. I'm beginning to think it's not the evil MAGA people that are obsessed with Hunter Biden's tiny phallus, just to be clear. That's about all. Peace out.